Lord William Kent, a wealthy merchant and a former aide to the king, had a grand vision. He desired to build a magnificent mansion on the banks of the River Thames in Richmond, one that would resemble the castles from fairy tales. The mansion was to be a testament to his immense wealth and a fortress for his beloved wife, Lady Eleanor. Lord Kent's jealousy knew no bounds. He wanted to keep Lady Eleanor's beauty hidden from the prying eyes of the world. Construction of the mansion began in 1910, but the outbreak of World War I and subsequent financial difficulties led to its abandonment. To add to his despair, Lady Eleanor betrayed him, shattering his heart. Lord Kent, now a broken man, abandoned the project altogether, leaving the mansion unfinished. Over the years, locals spoke of strange occurrences around the mansion. At night, they claimed to see a young woman with long hair wandering the empty halls. In the 1990s, workers renovating the site reported seeing a ghostly figure of a woman in old-fashioned clothes in the mirrors and even hearing her play the piano. Today, the mansion serves as a museum but is still referred to as the Haunted Mansion. Not far from Richmond, the quaint village of Haverford had its own mysterious tale. The villagers revered a particular species of fish that lived in a spring-fed pond. These fish were considered sacred, and the villagers performed rituals, offering sacrifices to them. When these fish died, they were buried in the village cemetery with prayers and solemn ceremonies. The tradition began 700 years ago when the village was founded. The story goes that the village headman once took fish from the spring and threw them away. Shortly after, tragedy struck his family. His son, daughter, wife, and finally, the headman himself all died within a year. The villagers believed the fish were sacred and that they brought healing to the sick and blessings to the childless. Over time, the fish became central to the village's spiritual life. In the present day, Professor Alice Hartley, a historian with a keen interest in local legends, decided to investigate both the haunted mansion and the sacred fish. She was particularly intrigued by the possibility that these two seemingly unrelated tales might be connected. Alice began her research at the mansion, speaking with the museum staff and reviewing old records. She then traveled to Haverford, where she met with the village elder, Henry Blake. Henry shared the tale of the sacred fish and the tragedies that befell the headman's family. "Do you believe there's a connection between the mansion and our fish?" Henry asked, his eyes reflecting both curiosity and caution. Alice pondered the question. There are elements of both stories that suggest a deeper connection. Both involve betrayal, tragedy, and the supernatural. There may be more to this than we know. Alice spent weeks delving into the histories of both locations. She discovered that Lord William Kent and the headman of Haverford were contemporaries and had a contentious relationship. The headman had accused Lord Kent of poisoning the spring, leading to the initial disappearance of the fish. The villagers' subsequent reverence for the fish and the headman's family curse seemed to be intertwined with Lord Kent's own tragic fate. One evening, while exploring the mansion, Alice found a hidden journal belonging to Lady Eleanor. The journal revealed that she had sought refuge in Haverford after fleeing from her husband's jealousy. She had befriended the headman's wife, who had told her about the sacred fish. In a twist of fate, Lady Eleanor's betrayal of Lord Kent was tied to her attempt to protect the headman's family and the fish from Lord Kent's wrath. Alice returned to Haverford with Lady Eleanor's journal, hoping to find more answers. She spent hours by the sacred pond, contemplating the connection between the two stories. As dusk fell, she noticed an eerie silence settle over the village. The sacred fish began to glow with an ethereal light. In that moment, a ghostly figure appeared on the water's surface. It was Lady Eleanor. She spoke to Alice in a soft, sorrowful voice. "The curse that binds us all stems from Lord Kent's jealousy and my attempt to protect the sacred fish. Only by acknowledging our intertwined fates can we find peace." Alice realized that the spirits of both the mansion and the village were trapped in a cycle of suffering. She shared Lady Eleanor's words with the villagers, who agreed to hold a ceremony to honor both the spirits of the mansion and the sacred fish. The villagers gathered by the pond, and the museum staff joined them. Together, they conducted a ceremony that combined elements of both traditions. They offered prayers for Lord Kent, Lady Eleanor, and the headman's family, seeking to release their spirits from the curse. As the ceremony concluded, a strange calm settled over the area. The glowing fish returned to their normal state, and the mansion's haunted aura seemed to dissipate. Alice felt a sense of closure, knowing that the spirits had finally found peace. Epilogue. The mystery continues. Though the curse was lifted, the stories of the haunted mansion and the sacred fish lived on, becoming part of local folklore. Visitors to Richmond and Haverford still spoke of the eerie events, and some claimed to see a faint figure of a woman by the pond or hear the distant notes of a piano in the mansion. Alice continued her research, always seeking to uncover the hidden connections between the past and present. The mystery of the mansion and the sacred fish was just one of many secrets waiting to be discovered in the annals of history.
I hope you had a good time. If you liked my story, do not forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye. See you in the next story.